Do you like dogs? Good, because I do too. And today I'm going to introduce you to two of mine that you may have seen already in some of my videos. You've met Klaus, you've met Zombie, but I have Fatal and Zeppelin here. And when they stretch, just so you know, they like to toot. So that's fun. So Fatal and Zeppelin are the same breed of dog. They are Ibizan Hounds, and I thought it would be really cool to kind of tell you about them because I think Ibizan Hounds are amazing, wonderful. And most of the time you see videos of them, you don't see them chilling like this. Zeppelin here is a very unique Ibizan Hound and not the best representative of what you're typically going to meet and find. But I love these guys. I think they're really cool because their breed is classified as a sighthound, which means they hunt with vision. And so like Afghan hounds, greyhounds, Salukis, Slogies, Irish wolfhounds, even Rhodesian ridgebacks, they're classified as sighthounds, whippets, all that. And so they mainly hunt with sight. The cool thing with Ibizan hounds is they use three senses. They use smell, ears, hearing, and sight to hunt. And so when you see them hunting, you're going to see them hunt a little different than most sighthounds will. So they like to hunt in packs. They like to bounce. They'll have, you know, the dogs that are driving, and then they have this one that cuts around and goes in, kind of like raptor hunting. That's what I like to call it. So they have a really cool, unique hunting style. Ibizan Hounds are a pretty ancient breed. They started, if you'll notice, not a lot of people see it with Zeppelin because he has a white head, but with Fatal, they'll see it with her. They're very similar to Pharaoh Hounds in aesthetic looks. You know, if you put a Pharaoh Hound and an Ibizan Hound next to each other, you're going to see the differences. But right, you know, you see a lot of similarities as well, and that's because they both kind of started in the same spot. So in Egypt is where they kind of both got their start. And what happened was Pharaoh Hounds stayed and developed into that breed. And then they took some dogs that they were using in the development of the Pharaoh Hounds and stuff, and they went to Spain. And so there is where the Podencos, which is what they call these guys in Spain, which is kind of Spanish for hound, they developed this kind of unique breed classification. I don't really know the right terminology for it, but Podencos, depending on where they were developed, became three different types of breeds. So you've got Podenco Ibicencos, which were these guys, you know, the Ibizan Hound, they were developed in Ibiza. And then you've got the Podenco Canario, which was developed in the Canary Islands. And then the Podenco Andalus, I think is how you pronounce it, and they were developed in the mainland. But they all kind of branch from the same, and then you've got some sub-Podencos that came from those three classifications. So, like, there's a lot of them. But these guys, you'll find here, a lot of the sub-classifications in Spain you don't really see in the United States as much. But you'll see them in Europe more. But these guys you'll see in the United States, they're still considered a rare breed. Not a lot of people have them because they can be difficult to live with. I find their difficulty humorous most of the time. Sometimes it's like, okay, why did I choose to live with this dog? But they can be difficult to live with because they can jump pretty high. You do have to watch, you know, your fencing, things like that, because they do have high prey drives. They are dogs who want to hunt, so that's always a consideration with them. But I also find a really cool, unique thing about them, besides the fact that people always want to tell me to feed them. They are fine. If Fatal comes back over here during this, you'll see she's got some ribs that are very visible, some hip bones that are very visible. That's normal. Fatal is very young. She's not even 2 years old yet. She's in her gangly teenager stage, so she's going to be a little bit skinnier than what you want them to be, just because she's in that weird gangly stage. Zeppelin's a very good weight. You can see some of his ribs right here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but he's a very good weight. These guys need to stay in this type of shape. We don't want fat on these guys because they are runners, they're hunters, and they're endurance dogs. So it would be like comparing, like if you're looking at humans and you compare a sprinter to a cross-country runner. These are the cross-country runners, and you're going to see a difference in that muscling and that in their weight. And then if you horse world, Arabian horses, thoroughbreds and quarter horses, you're going to see a huge muscling in those thoroughbreds and quarter horses, and you're going to see some very lean, sweat-looking animals for Arabians, because Arabians are endurance horses. They are supposed to go, 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 and go. Same thing with these guys. These are endurance dogs, and so their muscling is even different. So if you look at a greyhound, you see them big old juicy, like there's a greyhound that I know, Kraken, shout out to you, and he has got the biggest butt muscle I've ever seen on a dog. They're supposed to have that. They're bursts of speed. They're sprinters. They fast, right? We all know greyhounds are fast, but they're not all day fast. They're bursts of speed. These guys are all day, and they may not hit that greyhound speed right, but they go all day, and they go at a very nice speed. I think I've clocked Zeppelin with fast cats. I think we've gotten almost to 30 miles an hour, but I do know there are Ibizans that get up to 32. From what I know, correct me if I'm wrong, there might be some that are faster, but they're not slow dogs, but they go fast. And so if you look at their muscles, hi buddy, they have not this protruding, round, heavily muscled. They're what we call flat muscled. It's very lean, strong muscles, but they're flat. You know, they're not these big bulbous, and so people think they're malnourished and underweight and things like that. They're not. You know, they're supposed to be this way. You're supposed to see that hip bone. You're supposed to see some of the spine bones. So I don't need to feed them. Trust me, they eat a lot all the time. But that's normal. Another thing I really love about this breed is those ears. That's just a really, really fun. They hear everything, though. They hear everything, and they'll let you know they hear it. They're very vocal, but they're really a fun breed. I love them. I will always have them. They're like potato chips, though. You get one, gotta get more. They're very different from, you know, Zombie and Klaus, who are my little meatheads, big bullies. You know, they're fun, but these guys are great too. They're really fun for lure coursing if you ever want to get into lure coursing. But sighthounds in general are really fun dogs. Not all of them are great for first-time dog owners, but there are some people who have a good lifestyle that can handle them as a first-time dog. You just got to educate yourself into it. It's a very tight community, but a very helpful community. Because Zeppelin was my first Ibizan Hound. I had Borzoi before, so I already knew sighthounds. But they're very different. You know, each sighthound breed has like a basis of similarity, but then they have like their own individual quirkies and characters. Fatal, you want to come say hi? Yes. And so Fatal is young, and as like I mentioned earlier, she's got more ribs showing right now because she's in that gangly, weird teenager stage. And she's smaller. She's definitely. They're both from different lines, and so he's a big guy. She's a small girl. But they're both very sighthoundy. They want to hunt. They want to do all that fun stuff. So I wanted to introduce you to these guys, and I wanted to talk to you about their breed and why I love it so much and how unique they are, because I think they're just such an interesting type of dog. And you'll see them in and out of some of my videos. I know we all like Zombie, so we'll definitely bring Zombie in more. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about them. Please like, comment, subscribe, give us some algorithm help, and comment below what your favorite breed is and what breed you'd like me to cover, and we'll try to make it happen. Bye now.